Hey, today I want to take a look at MCP. How can we implement an MCP server in our code editor that helps us get documentation better and faster? So one of the problems with LLMs is when you're talking to it, asking it about documentation from a certain website, it may or may not have the most up-to-date information. That's where tools like Context 7 come into play. This is a great project to take a look at. You can actually look for documentation. You can copy this right into your code base to give editors more context about how to use this tool. The other option you have is to use their MCP server. So Context 7 MCP server will give you ways to say, use app router in Next.js, use Context 7, and this will go and know the right documentation to look up. And so it's got the right documentation that it uses. And so you can look at all the different MCP tools and servers that are available on something like Smithery. There's lots of different MCP servers that you can use. Today we're just going to look at Context 7 as a first step in getting MCP set up in your own workflows. So following their guide here, in Cursor, they also have other code editors. In VSCode, you can copy this right in. So what that looks like in Cursor is you go to your Cursor settings. Under the MCP tab, you can add a new server. That opens up this MCP JSON file. You can have lots of different MCP servers added in here, but this is a good starting point to help us get better up-to-date documentation. So let's see how it actually works for us. So what I have here is I've got a Next.js application using ingest and using Prisma. And so these are different tools that the LLM may know about, but they may not have the most up-to-date information. So let's take a look at using Context 7 documentation. So I've got a Next.js site here using app router and Prisma and ingest. I actually want to integrate ingest's agent kit, which is a new thing they added. So let's tell Cursor to go ahead and do that for me. So the last thing I want to do here after typing out my prompt is I want to tell it to use Context 7. And so that will hopefully tell it to go out to Context 7, look up ingest agent kit to get the up-to-date documentation on it. So it wants to call an MCP tool. I can go ahead and confirm that. And I can actually open this up and see, okay, it called it to get a library ID, and then it's going to go out to this library, basic setup to process incoming messages. So it's going to go use that documentation to look up what it needs. And there you go. So it gave me the steps I need to go create some agents, add them in here, and then I could further tell it to go implement that in the code base. But this was a quick look at using an MCP tool to go get the latest documentation from maybe a new technology or a new version of something that the LLM wouldn't know on its own. I hope you'll take a look at MCP servers, and thanks for watching.